Let's show this. So for that we'll go back to the example 1 and we'll refer to the problem and we'll calculate the critical path for the example 1. So let's write activity. Now the immediate predecessor and successors are not important because here we have already drawn the graph, so that relationship is over. Now our important terminologies are the duration is important, so we'll write down the duration in days. So we'll keep the duration, then we will write the earliest, and after below that we will make two columns, start and finish. Then we will calculate the latest. Again for that we will be having two columns, start and finish, and finally we will calculate the total float. So activities we will write as A, B, the previous one whatever you have, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I and J. So for our help we will make a table. This table will help us defining or finding out what are the critical activities and the critical path, so that I don't get confused or I don't overwrite others. So I'm making a in the form of table. So I have separated all the activities, and now I'll write down the duration in days, that is 7, then it is 12, 16, 5, 12, 13, 18, 10, 8 and 11. So let's do. Now we will do an important thing, that we will write down the nodes, because activity A represents nodes from 1 to 2. So we'll write this way, 1, 2, 2. Activity A represents the nodes because nodes are important in calculation, will be helping us in calculating the earliest and latest time. Activity B is 1 to 3. So activity B is 1 to 3. Then C is 2 to 4. D is 2 to 5. E is 2 to 3. F is 4 to 7. G is 5 to 7. H is 3 to 6. And I is 6 to 7. And finally J is 7 to 8. So this is how we will write the activities. Activities we will be writing in the terms of the nodes, and that will help us calculate in earliest and latest. So the column, this particular column which will represent the start time, and this column node column will represent the earliest finish time of the corresponding activities. So let me try to tell you what I mean. So any difficulty will always refer to the figure. Any difficulty will always refer to the figure. And so activity A is between nodes 1 and 2. Activity B is between nodes 1 and 3. And so whatever, now we will move forward, we will calculate the earliest, latest and all that. Now when we will calculate the earliest times that are termed as the forward pass, the time will move forward. So forward pass, we're writing that forward pass. Time will move forward and will move from 1 to towards direction 8. So whatever activities are starting from node 1, their earliest start time is 0 units. and the finish time, as we have written, early finish time is early start time plus Tij. This is duration in days is our Tij. So 0 plus 7 is 7, 0 plus 12 is 12. Now next is C. Next activity is C. So C is starting from node 2. So we'll refer back where we have found node 2. So node 2, this 2 will correspond to the finish time 7. So that means this value. So C after A is finished. So A is finished at 7 units. So C will start at 7 units of time. So similarly, this finished value will become the start value of the 2. So this is the correspondence. This is how it will correspond. This finished value will come at the start value of 2. So 7 plus 16 is 23. Again 2. All the 3 here, all the activities are starting from node 2. So for each of them, their starting point is 7 units of time. So 7 plus 5 is 12. 7 plus 12 is 19. 7 plus 12 is 19. Now again here, what would be the start time? So this corresponds to the node 4. Then I'll look back. Then I'll look back where I have found node 4. So where I have found node 4. So here I have found node 4. That means this is the finish time. This particular finish time will come here. So this 4 will correspond to this particular 4. So this finish time will correspond to the start time. So that means this is 23. 23 plus 13 is 36. 5 again similarly where I have got 5 correspond to this particular finish time, that means 12 comes here. So 12 plus 18 is 30. Then again 3 where I have found 3 back, I'll trace back 3, that corresponds to this particular value 19. So 19 plus 10 is 20. 19 plus 10 is 29. Now 6 where I have got 6, here this value corresponds to 6. So 6, I'll go back, trace back, here it is 6. So what is the corresponding value? Is 29. So 29 plus 8 is 37. 29 plus 8 is 37. Then 7. Okay, so we have got 3 points where there are 6. So if you go back, so this is one, this is another path, this is another path trying to reach at 7. So every activity from 7 can start when all F and G and I must be completed before J can start. So F and G and I can only start at the maximum point of time. Means, so 7, the 3 values that correspond 7. This particular F is ended at 36, G is ended at 30, and I is ended at 37. So unless 37 units are gone, J cannot start. So whenever in a particular node, whenever there are more than one values, we have to take the maximum. When we are moving in the forward path, when we are moving forward, so in a particular node, when there are more than one value, we have to take the maximum value. So here 37 comes, and because 37, any activity that can start from 7, node 7 is not before 37 units. So 37, we will put 37, and 37 plus 11 is 48. So now what we have, that at 8, all the activities will be finished by 48 units of time. So what we know, that at 8 the latest finish time could be 48. So that same value 48 we will write at here. Okay. So after we have finished the earliest calculation, then we will calculate the latest. We'll do the latest calculation. So for the latest calculation, we have to trace back from 8 to 1. That is so the time will move backward, and that is termed as backward pass. So we'll move backward, and we have already known that all the activities at 8 must be as completed at 48. So what we only know, the only required value from here is 48. That means latest finish time at 8 is 48, and no other values are required. So what we'll do, we'll put something on the earliest part, earliest column, and we will try to calculate. Only thing that is required to this value 48, because if we are putting some other values or any other, we are not keeping the earliest column intact. In that case, that will influence you in calculating the latest part. So it's important not to be influenced by this earliest. Only thing that we require is the 48 value and the durations. So please keep that in mind. So we will put something. So let's put something on this so that it does not affect. So I am putting 2 pens that it does not, so that these values are blocked. And let's write this one here, this one here. It's not working very well. Okay, so so we have got 48. Now for backward pass, we'll move backward. So we will be using this particular formula. Latest start time is latest finish time minus Tij. So latest finish time for J is 48. So we subtract Tij, that is 11. We get 30. 48 minus 11 is 37. That means all the activities at 7 must be completed by 37. Then and then only you can complete all the activities at 8 at time 48. So wherever 7 appears, one thing I have missed here also, the start time corresponds to this particular column, and the finish time will correspond to the, but for with this particular nodes. But unlike previously where we are moving this to this direction, now we'll move this direction to this direction. So wherever 7 appears, those activity must be completed by 37. So here it is 30, at 7 the latest finish time is 37. So here it is 37. Yes. So here it is 37. So this particular is 37. This particular is 37. So at 7 the latest finish time is 37. So start time, if it is 37, so let's start time is 37 minus 8 is 29. Here 37 minus 18. 37 minus 18 is 37 minus 18 is 19. 19, and 37 minus 13 is 24. So 24. Then now we have here what this particular finish time corresponds to 6. So for that we'll check where I have got 6 earlier. So trace back here. So 6, that means this corresponds to 29. So 29 should be here. So 29 minus 10 gives you 19. 29 minus 10 gives you 19. Then this particular value, now we'll write down here, this particular value corresponds to the node 3. Node 3. So node 3, where I have got node 3, so I have got node 3 here. So this is this particular value 19. So this should be 19. 19 minus 12 is 7. 19 minus 12 is 7. Where is note 3? Yes, note 3, 19. Have I written rightly? 19 minus 12 is 7. Fine. Then here, what is this node? This node is 5. So where I've got 5 here, that is also 19. 19 minus 5 is, so 19 minus 5 is 14. 19 minus 5 is 14. Then next one here is 4. Next one is here is 4. Where I've got 4 this particular is 24. So 24 minus 16 is 8. 3 again 3. So 3, this is 19. Oh sorry, I have missed one thing. So 3, there are two values at 3. This is 1 3, this is 1 3. So both, they are both, it will, for both the cases it will be 19. Here it will be 19. End activity at 19. At 3 must be 19. Here also it will be 19. So 19 minus 12 becomes 7. And then at 2, so here we have to put the value at 2. So 2, if we at 2 we have got 1 2 3 values, that is 8 14 and 7. There are 3 values in case of 2. So when we are moving, if you go back to 2, see there are 3 streams. So when we are going back, we will be having 3 values at 2 to start times. But when we are moving backward, we have to take the minimum, because unless we take the minimum, then other values will not be satisfied. Say let's 3 values that we have got at 2 are, what are those 3 values? 8 14 and 7. Let's take 14. So if you take 14, so 14, then C 14 plus, then 14, after that you have to complete all of this by 48. So 14 plus 16 is 30. 30 plus F is 13. 30 plus 13 is 43, plus J is 11. 43 plus 11 is beyond 48. So you cannot, so 14 is not the acceptable value. If you take 8 also, that will also not satisfy. If you take 8, so 8 plus C is 16. 8 plus 16 is 24. 24 plus F is 13. 24 plus 13 is 37. 37. If you take 8 plus 16 is 34. 34 plus 7 is 34 plus 13. Again go back, let's go back. 8 plus C is 16. 8 plus C is 16, that is 24. 24 plus F is 13. 24 plus 13 is 37. 37 plus 11 is 40. That satisfies, but in that case this particular path will not be satisfied. Check. So if you check at 8 plus E. 8 plus E is 12. 8 plus 12 is 20. 20 plus H is 10. 30. 30 plus I is 8. 38. 38 plus 11 is 49. So that is not satisfied. So in a particular node, if there are 3, when you are tracing backward, if we get 3 values in a particular node like this at 2, so 7, 8 and 40, you have to, sorry, not this 3, but this 3, 8, 14 and 7. So we have to go back, we have to take the minimum of this. So that means minimum is 7, and 7 minus 7 becomes 0. Okay, I think our calculation is right. Now let's, for total float, we'll check, we'll use this value, and let's see what is the total float value that we get. Total float, I have set, we have to check both this. So latest finish time, finish minus finish, or start minus start. So 7 minus 7 is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. 19 minus 12 is 7. 7 minus 0 is again 7. 24 minus 23 is 1. 8 minus 7 is also 1. 19 minus 12 is 7. 14 minus 7 is also 7. 19 minus 19 is 0. 7 minus 7 is 0. 37 minus 36 is 1. 24 minus 23 is also 1. 37 minus 30 is 7. 19 minus 12 is 7. 29 minus 29 is 0. 19 minus 19 is 0. See, both the cases for all the activities we have calculated, and if the calculation is correct, then for each case the values will come as same. Next, 37 minus 37 is 0. 29 minus 29 is also 0. And lastly, 48 minus 48 is 0. 37 minus 37 is also 0. So what, as we have said, those activity for which the total float is 0 are my critical activities. So what we'll do, we will double circle the 0 values and corresponding activities will mark as the critical activity. So that is A, then this one is E, then H, I, J, A, E, H, I and J. So as I have said, the critical path is a path from start to end. So this is a continuous path from start to end, and these are the critical activities. So you have to complete this activity, and you cannot delay this activity. If you delay these activities, then the whole project will be delayed and your cost will be more. These activities you can delay within certain limit, and what are the limits that has been given by the total float for those particular path that you are calculating. So this is the method called critical path method. So we are finding the critical path, and this is deterministic, as we are recapitulating that this is deterministic because the duration and the relationship are all given, all fixed. Duration is fixed, so no variation is allowed over here. So hence this is a critical path. This is how we can find the critical path, and finally we'll write the critical path as A, E, H, I and J, and the length of the critical is given by, we'll just add the values, duration of the critical activities, that is 7, then 12, 10, 8 and 11. So that is 7 plus 12 plus 10 plus 8 plus 11 will give you 48 days. So 7 plus 12 is 19, plus 10 29, plus 8 is 37, plus 11 is 48. So the duration of the project will be 48 days, and while completing this particular path, you will be completing all the other activities as well. So that is what is called the critical path method. This is one example 1 that we have taken. We'll also do example 2 a little bit later.